Thank you for joining us for your reporter behind the story. I'm Michael Spencer, and here at CBS News Colorado, we want to be transparent and let viewers know how a story comes together. Right now, we're going to take a look at an investigation into our state's unemployment. Your investigative reporter, Kati Weis, joins me now. And Kati, this has been a nightmare for many residents who are still waiting for unemployment money.
Incredibly so, Michael. I've heard from many viewers who have been dealing with this issue with unemployment for months. And here are some things that I found that are being done to hold the department accountable.
It feels pretty unfair, and I feel pretty powerless.
Henry Fortier has been waiting on his unemployment check for almost a year. To add insult to injury, he can't get help from the department's customer service.
99% of the time, I get an automated message saying I will not be able to transfer to a live person.
Some say when they do talk to a human, the customer service reps aren't able to clear the holds over the phone.
Directly told me, you should really try reaching out to your local news stations to try and get the ball rolling on your claim.
What did you think about that?
Like I was living in the twilight zone. It was shocking.
Vanessa Quilanton had to move home to Texas because of the dysfunction, saying she couldn't afford to live in Colorado any longer.
12 weeks without income, and I was desperate.
Turns out the department says there are only 40 people in the department who are allowed to clear fraud holds. And get this, clearing the holds isn't even their primary duty. They have other tasks to handle as well. But the department says it has just hired 10 more people whose primary job will be to clear the hundreds of holds that remain. I asked why customer service agents can't clear the holds. The department says it's now adding new training so customer service reps can more quickly escalate holds for review to the right team. The department even pledges that now most claimants will have their holds cleared within just 1 week of calling customer service.
We have been putting pressure on the department to do a better job.
Representative Judy Amabile is the chair of the Labor Affairs Oversight Committee.
We have given the department resources.
She plans to investigate the Labor Department at the start of the next legislative session.
And we will be asking questions about what's happening and looking for answers and understanding what solutions they're bringing to address the problem.
Meanwhile, some claimants feel oversight should come much sooner.
I would just implore Colorado officials to stop cutting their citizens off at the knees.
Now, the Colorado Department of Labor and Employment would not give us an interview about these issues, but they did send us a written statement that says, in part, quote, "We have an obligation to protect the UI Trust Fund from criminal activity, and we are dedicated to balancing that with providing seamless claimant experience for all the Coloradans we serve." Now, meanwhile, if you're struggling to get paid, Representative Amabile urges you to please reach out to your local state representative for more help, because she says it's their job as legislators to step in for issues like these. Michael?
Well, Kati, I know a lot of viewers have questions about your investigation. So when did you first hear about these unemployment issues, and how did your investigation get started?
Yeah, so we first really heard about several serious issues with the department back at the beginning of the pandemic. We started receiving dozens of emails from people who were just really concerned about not getting the answers that they were hoping for about their claims. So many claims just being held up. And then really, though, within our station, our reporters have been working on reporting about issues with the department for over a decade, even since the 2008 issues back then. So this has been a problem off and on for a very, very long time that we plan to continue to keep on until it gets fixed.
What are some of the biggest problems that you have noticed with the department throughout the course of your reporting?
Yeah, so back when I first started working on this during the pandemic, it was really interesting because I obtained some internal emails that showed one of the biggest problems with the department's systems was that they were still running on 1980s technology. Yes.
How is that even possible?
I don't understand either, but that was one of the big issues. And then from there, the director, I remember, even told me in an interview back then that it would not be an understatement to say that they were running on chicken wire and duct tape.
Wow.
So that was one of the things that I think made it difficult for the department at first, but they updated their system since then. And so then for a while, we weren't hearing anything from claimants until this summer when they re-updated or changed their identity verification system.
And that was when we really started to notice a big difference and started getting those dozens of emails from viewers again.
And it's crazy to me that they're telling people, hey, go to your local news station because you might have a better opportunity of getting paid when it's all said and done. Now, we've been getting emails from viewers expressing their unemployment frustrations. What advice do you have for viewers who need help?
Well, as you heard in the story, you can reach out to your local legislator. They want to help you, and they have a lot of, pull within the government to also help you as well. That's part of their job, as they're representative of being of you, of your community. So they want to do that. You can also reach out to us as well. We want to know when these things are happening. We might not be able to get back to you soon because, as we've mentioned, we hear from a lot of folks. But we are glad to hear from you and know that these things, are consistently still an issue, so that way we know to continue to work on it as reporters. And the other thing that you can do, the department does say that they will try to help you within a week now, allegedly, that they will be able to get back with you and get your claim fixed, so you can also still try to reach out to the department as well.
Something tells me you're not buying that. What can other Coloradans do to help people who are affected by these issues?
Yeah, I think the same thing. If these stories really hit, a tone with you and make you feel like, wow, I want to do something about that, you should also reach out to your local representatives to help keep these things on their radar as well, so they know what kinds of things to advocate for in the upcoming session. And that's something that we'll be looking into as well moving forward, is what kinds of changes are going to be made, who's going to be holding this department accountable. Our continued reporting on this issue, we're hopeful, is just a way to continue to hold this department accountable and shine a light on these problems. But we are not the government. And at the end of the day, a lot of governmental changes can only be made from within. So those folks need to know about it.
What can the state be doing better to help resolve some of these issues? And keep in mind, we do have a time limit on this. I imagine there's a lot of things they could be doing better.
Yeah, for sure. I think there are a lot of things that will need to be evaluated, whether it's, do they need more budgeting from the state? Do they need, better management? Should an internal audit be conducted? I think those are some things that legislators will be evaluating in the upcoming session starting in January. Those are things that we're going to be looking into as well, is, what are some of the things, that are falling short at this point, and how can the department be given better resources? I plan as a reporter to evaluate what are some of the things that other states are doing that are working, and how could that maybe be applied in Colorado.
That's one of the things about you as a reporter. You are dogged. We know you'll get to the bottom of this.
Absolutely.
Kati, thank you so much. You can see all of Kati Weis's unemployment investigative reports on our website, cbscolorado.com.